Alrighty. So that's the NBA. That's our moneymaker. So let's go into our first ever, or first of the season, NBA power rankings. First of the season. Most of these teams are what? 15, 18 games in. The Clippers played 16. Jazz have played 15. Suns are at 14. So yeah, solid 14, 15 games into the season. Who's got the most games played? Looks like 16. Looking like 16. All right. So 16 games into the NBA season, I think we've got a decent kind of ground floor work here of who are the top 10 teams in the NBA. So here we go, our first unveiling. Clean slate here. We can do whatever we want, folks. We can do whatever we want. We got a blank canvas, but this is how I feel things should be ranked. 16 games into the season. So here we go. Starting at 10, we'll go all the way up to number 1. All right, so the number 10 team here, we're going to have the Boston Celtics. All right, they got a great head coach. They got some decent weapons, obviously. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, these are superstars, folks. They can get you 35 a game, which is what you need. Now, they don't have a great big. I don't like any of their bigs. Tristan Thompson's probably their best big, in my opinion. I hate Daniel Tice. I hate that man. And Robert Williams, he's had his opportunities in the starting lineup multiple times last season in the bubble. He may have even had some starting lineup experience this season, and it's just nothing great. It's nothing great. So, with all that being said, Celtics at 10, and when they don't have Jason Tatum, this team is not good at all. I would not expect them to win games if they don't have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in the starting lineup. Now, I do like Marcus Smart. Great kind of role. I don't even want to say he's a solid third, solid even fourth maybe if you want to put him under Kemba Walker, but he's a solid 4 on that team, a solid 3 on that team. Kemba Walker getting back from that injury, once again a solid 3 on that team, a solid 4 on that team, or however you want to rank Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker, because we're obviously having Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown 1 and 2. So Celtics at 10, solid squad, good coach, but a little lacking in the big department. Alrighty, number 9, and we'll probably get a lot of slack on this one, but they haven't won a game yet, folks. So with everybody in it, so we're gonna put the Nets at number 9. They've got the stars, folks. They've got the pieces, but we need to see the chemistry start to work out a little bit more cohesiveness. Once they start winning games, then it's really gonna come along. Like once they get their first win, that's really when the floodgates are gonna open. Kind of like in soccer and hockey. Once you get that first goal, you're good to go for the rest of the game. So once the Nets get the first win, they'll be good to go. I'm sure next week, because we're going to do this once a week on Fridays. This is going to be our Friday segment when we update our power rankings. So next Friday, I know we're doing it on Saturday. I told y'all already. We missed it yesterday. So once next Friday comes along and once they get that first win, I mean, this Nets team could definitely be moving up a little bit. So we're going to leave them here at 9. They've got the talent. We need to see the wins first. And until they do that, we got to keep them at 9. Alrighty, number 8. We're going to put the Bucks. And I get why they should be higher, but they're bigs. There's nobody real clutch. I do want to give props to Chris Middleton because he's really been consistent here. I know I started to clown him a little bit. I was kind of on him heavy in the bubble season, but he's really been kind of very good in the bubble. He's really consistent here to start the season. So Chris Middleton, we kind of accept him into a superstar role a little bit. He's really kind of earned it. Yes, Giannis is great. He's having trouble at the free throw line. He can't hit threes. That's their biggest problem here in Milwaukee. Nobody can consistently hit threes and be that kind of clutch three-point scorer because they need it. I mean, they've got good size down low. Nobody's doubting that. They got Giannis, but Giannis can't hit the three, so he's just eating down low. Unlike, Joel Embiid, he can hit the three, and he has, a multifaceted game. So the Bucks, they're not going to win a championship, unfortunately. Giannis is good, but, going down in the paint for the entire season, it wears on you. He wears down, and they don't have that three-point shooter to stretch the floor. So we've seen the Bucks, second round exit, not getting to the finals. I think they've reached their ceiling on what their roster is right now. Now, if they go and get that three-point shooter, then yes, we can look at this Bucks team as a little bit more of contenders. But with just Giannis and Chris Middleton, they're just number 8, folks. Just number 8. Alrighty, number 7. I'm going Warriors. Oh yeah. Curry's back, baby. He's getting back to his rhythm. Wiseman's really starting to step up a little bit. Draymond Green is back. He's a huge piece, and they still got a great coach in Steve Kerr, and they got great pieces. Andrew Wiggins is stepping up as well. So love this Warriors team. They can click it on the three-pointer fall. Kelly Oubre Jr. They've got the bigs, they got the shooters, they got the squad, and they got championship level mentality, coaching, Curry. They've got it all, Draymond Green. So love this Warriors team. They've started to get online a little bit. Very interested to see, what they do today in this game since they're coming off a loss. Like to see them get back on track with the win. But this is a good team, and if you got Steph Curry, you're going to be one of the top teams in the league because he's still hitting threes. This is not a fluke. That wasn't a 4-year fluke of him hitting threes. It wasn't a 5-year fluke of him hitting threes from midcourt and a step in from midcourt and 2 steps in from midcourt. The man is the best shooter of all time, folks, and we give the man respect. So number 7 for the Warriors. Number 6, and this one might be a little high for this team, but we're going to go the Atlanta Hawks, and because I really love the Clint Capella pickup, and I'm telling y'all, Trae Young has taken that next step, and, he can just keep going and going and going. This man is like Steph Curry, bruh. He can hit the threes from, 3 steps behind the three-point line, 2 steps behind the three-point line, so he can hit from anywhere, and then they got the big down low and Clint Capella. It's really all I need to see is Trae Young and Clint Capella. It's kind of like Murray and Jokic. It's like Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. It's Trae Young and Clint Capella. And since they've got those two bigs, or those two big names, this is a good squad. We see Trae Young putting up 42 points, 35 points. Clint Capella having a triple-double with 10 big old blocks. I mean, folks, solid squad. And Trae Young, if we have to start moving the Hawks down a little bit, that's fine. But for right now, I'm gonna put them very high just because of that step Trae Young has taken. It's really impressed me. So we give the team a lot of credit. We give that man a lot of credit. So if we have to move them down, we will. But we're gonna honor them with the number 6 right out of the gate. Alrighty, number 5, and we're going to go the Phoenix Suns. I mean, folks, Chris Paul elevates every team he's on. They got the big down low, DeAndre Ayton. They got Devin Booker, who just really came alive in the bubble and is carrying it over this season. So, Suns, they're getting better. They're good right now, I would say. Chris Paul is getting, literally everybody's getting it done on this squad. So, I absolutely love it. And the fact that, Chris Paul is just elevating all these teams that he's on, I mean, that's a huge plus. I mean, you got the veteran in Chris Paul, the floor general. You got the big down low, and you got the shooter. What more do you need? That's it. Those check all the boxes. So Suns at number 5. I really am very impressed with this team. Alrighty, let's go to number 4. And I may be putting this team a little bit higher than they should be, but the Jazz. We're gonna put the Jazz at 4. Donovan Mitchell, he's very, very good. Rudy Gobert, I mean, they hit the pick and roll whenever they want, folks, truly. And then they got the 6th man of the year on their bench in Jordan Clarkson. So that's why the Jazz are at number 4. You got Murray, who's very good on a nightly basis. You get Rudy Gobert, who is a solid defender. Nothing great, but he's not bad. He's all over the boards. He's a glass cleaner. He's not going to go get you, the 25, 30 points like Jokic can, in that kind of similar dynamic between Jamal Murray and Jokic. But I think this dynamic is better because Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, is a more consistent kind of scorer than Jamal Murray is. And, so they don't have to kind of make up the points in that aspect. So Jazz at number 4. Love Jordan Clarkson. He's going to get you 19 off the bench mostly every game. He's going to be the floor facilitator. So, when Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are out, the second squad, the B team that comes in, they're not going to lose the work, lose the lead that, the starters put in. So Jazz at 4 because they got the 6th man of the year. Donovan Mitchell's real good. Rudy Gobert, pick and roll. They cannot stop that man. So Jazz at number 4. Alrighty, number 3 is going to be the 76ers. I love this team. They may be one of the deepest starting rosters, folks, truly. Ben Simmons, he's just kind of being a facilitator a little bit. They got the 3-point shooters in Seth Curry. Absolutely fantastic. Danny Green, I'm not the biggest Danny Green fan. I do clown the man a lot. But, when he's on, he's good. He can get you, he can stretch the floor, and that's what you want. You do kind of have to respect the threes in some games. Other games not, like the game from last night of 1 of 6. You can't, you don't have to respect it then. But when he's hitting, 55%, 62% from 3, this is a dangerous team. They're also a dangerous team when they're not, because Steph Curry just came back in the lineup, or Seth Curry just came back in the lineup, so he kind of takes over for Danny Green a little bit. And then you've got the MVP. You've got the MVP, Joel Embiid, folks. Down low, he cannot be stopped. The 3, the down low in the paint. He's better than Giannis. Do we say that? Do we say that Joel Embiid is better than Giannis? I think you can make the argument, folks. I think you can make the argument. So, 76 is real good. Doc Rivers, I'm not the big fan of him coaching. He hasn't really shown success. Yes, with the Celtics, I get it. But he worked with the Clippers, with Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin in that huge era. Couldn't really get it done. We just saw the Clippers last season fold in the playoffs. So he's got the 76ers working out well, because no coach has been able to do that so far. So Doc Rivers kind of back to maybe his Celtics coaching form a little bit. Fantastic. Some younger players he can kind of mold better than, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. You can't really mold them. But yeah, this is a great starting lineup for the 76ers. I'm forgetting their 5th piece, and it's a good one. Tobias Harris. I mean, he can hit the 3 as well. So very great starting lineup. I'm hugely big on the 76ers team. So we get them at number 3. Alrighty, number 2 is going to be the Clippers. I mean, we still got to respect Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Paul George is having a real good season this far. Yes, it's regular season. That's when he thrives. But, hey, I mean, we're talking about only 16 games in. This is why we're doing the power rankings here. So Clippers at number 2. They're deep. They've got great bench pieces. They've got great starters. They've got great defense, great shooters. I mean, they really have everything. Do they have a great big? They got a decent big. I'm actually forgetting the big real quick. Let's go back. Yeah, Serge Ibaka. Oh, I love Serge Ibaka. I just kind of, I was talking big on him when we were going over this game earlier. But yeah, Serge Ibaka's fantastic. He can hit the 3. We saw him with the Raptors last season. Absolutely magnificent. He was the best player on the Raptors last season. And now he's here with the Clippers. So love that man's having success. He's great. Great defender. Great big down low. He can hit the 3. He can do it all. So nobody's doubting the talent on the Clippers. Yes, they got, clowned for the playoffs, last season. That's understandable. But this is a new season, so we put it off in our mind a little bit. But Clippers at 2, and then number 1 team is the Lakers, folks. I mean, this team literally could just run LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Dennis Schroeder, and I would still say this is the best team. If you're playing 3v5 with the Lakers, I would still take Lakers, even though you have a 2-man advantage on your roster. I'm still taking the Lakers 3 of LeBron, AD, and Dennis Schroeder. That's it. That's all I need to see. That's it. That's the reason why they're number 1. You got LeBron James, fantastic, can do anything. Anthony Davis, great down low. He can stretch the floor with the 3 if he wants, but that's what you got Dennis Schroeder for. To stretch the floor with the 3, and that's LeBron. That's all he's been asking for in his entire career. Can somebody just hit a damn 3? Because I'm driving and kicking out to wide open trash players. I had to work with Danny Green last season, and I made it work. I carried him to a championship, and I appreciate, his 1 of 6 shooting on most nights, but at the end of the day, he can go because Dennis Schroeder is a better 3-point shooter. So, and Frank Vogel, great coach. Who knew this man could coach, right? He didn't have really too much success before he got to the Lakers. But, you just put a competent coach with LeBron James, it's going to work itself out. So, Lakers are still the best team in the league, defending champions. When you got LeBron, when you got Anthony Davis, that's the best tandem in the league. That's the best tandem in the league. Now, if we're talking trios, the Nets maybe have it, but they don't have a true leader. So, Lakers at number 1. Alrighty, so this is our first power rankings of the season, folks. Celtics 10, Nets 9, Bucks 8, Warriors 7, Hawks 6, Suns 5, Jazz 4, 76ers 3, Clippers 2, and the Lakers are the number 1 team. So we will be updating this every Friday live on the show.